This is how to get the most out of the YouTube tutorials that you watch on productivity and how to become more focused and disciplined. In the past, I have made a video condemning these productivity YouTubers, but if I'm being honest, that was only a small fraction of the problem, because the other big fraction of the problem is actually you. And this is something that took me the longest time to actually learn and realize about myself. But the main reason why I struggled with productivity wasn't mostly because of the videos that I was watching or the fact that it was so hard for me to implement them. The biggest problem that I realized that a lot of us have is the fact that we just do not have any tangible goals. Let me give you an example. Right now, I want to become a data scientist. And when I first started this journey, I just woke up and said, you know what, I love AI, I love machine learning, this is what I'm going to do. Opened up my laptop, started watching tutorials, coding along, did it for some hours. The second day, the third day, I started losing motivation. You've seen a lot of gurus on the internet right now that like, discipline is so much better than motivation. But if I'm being honest with you, discipline is good, but motivation is very important in terms of you actually having the drive to work on the thing that you want to work on. What I realized from this, me trying to become a data scientist was the fact that I felt like I was not disciplined enough. I felt like, I had a problem with attention, with my focus. But then when I just sat down, I like to have these conversations with myself where I'm like, what's the problem? How can I do this? Now, for most people, this is the part where they go to YouTube and search up how to be more focused, how to become disciplined, how to do this, when that is actually not the solution. It's not even the problem that you have. The biggest problem that you have, like I mentioned earlier, is you not having tangible goals. In my case, what I realized, the thing that I needed to do was actually very simple. Becoming a data scientist is something that takes a year plus, even up to 2 years or more. For me to say I want to become a data scientist and sitting down, coding one tutorial, and thinking I'm going to learn something, I might learn how to implement an isolation forest or maybe an autoencoder, but it just doesn't make sense to the bigger picture of what I'm trying to achieve. So instead, I decided to break it down. What do I need to do to become a data scientist? There's a very good site called roadmap.sh. You can find most, roadmaps there, and it shows you, if you want to become a data scientist, these are the prerequisites. Learn, algebra, learn probability, learn statistics for coding. It's a proper structure. Now, a lot of people have this habit of, doing a lot of research and creating these prerequisites. For me to do this, I need to do this. Nah, just create a roadmap. Get anything. Sam Altman actually once said something like, a lot of smart people stand in their way of, becoming successful because they have a habit of creating fake prerequisites. For me to get started, I need to do this, I need to do this. No, the best and biggest decision that's really hard is just getting started. Do not worry about how good it is when you're starting out. Just worry about the fact that you just need to get started, because everything you're going to learn along the way. Coming back to the problem of productivity, as in why a lot of people can't really complement the things they learn. The reason is, not having a structure, not having goals and that are achievable in a certain period. So for me, I have a study timetable, and I would recommend, instead of using Notion, these apps, these fancy apps where you get to pay, the most effective, planning schedule and timetables that work for me are just having them on paper. I like to write them out, because when I'm planning something, I'm thinking, like this. Nobody knows my day-to-day life and experience and my emotions better than myself, So I like to write them out. You can, write it on your computer, but I would recommend having it on your wall, not on your phone or a reminder. The most effective is, I think, having it on your wall, because when you sit here, you're going to bed, you look at it, you're like, tomorrow morning at 8, I need to study web development. Tomorrow morning at 12, like, I need to do this and so forth. It is something that you get to look at every day. And because of the fact that you know what you're supposed to achieve tomorrow, the day after, and so forth, if you look at the whole week, in general, you know that this week, by the end of it, I want to be able to do this. By that week, I need to be able to do this. And that is what really helped me a lot to understand that actually, I just didn't have an actual plan and structure. They say that procrastination is as a result of lacking structure. But I noticed that not only do you become a procrastinator when you don't have a structure, but the fact that you don't know what's coming yet next, everything is just freestyle, just makes it so hard to actually work on anything, because technically you don't have to work on anything because you don't have anything planned. You know, you're going by your vibe and your mood. And most of the time, for me, I have a video about maybe being a procrastinator, like a chronic procrastinator. And as procrastinators, you spend a whole lot of your day doing nothing and then study for an hour at night and then you're tired. The biggest takeaway from this video should be that if you want to become more productive, try to have a reason, try to understand why you're trying to become more productive. Do you have a tangible goal? Getting your degree and doing better is just not good enough sometimes, you know. Try to create these milestones for yourself to say, by the end of this week, I want to be able to solve any problems on, time series or for your analysis or whatever, you know. Just create this. That's the motivation that you need. Do not be fooled. Discipline, like being disciplined is good, but having the motivation to do something is something that's very vital. And anything can be motivation. You can find different ways to motivate yourself. So I'm dragging this video, I'm sorry, but another thing that I want to mention is also try to take your vitamins. Go to the clinic and see if you're lacking any vitamin deficiencies. I haven't watched any tutorial on productivity in such a long time because I don't struggle with being focused or disciplined or whatever right now, because of the fact that I started taking supplements. I'm on antidepressants. You know, I went to see a therapist, all the diagnostics and everything. I was recommended medication, and ever since then, ever since I started taking these meds, I feel so good. And yeah, you know, maybe you might be having the same problem. So I wish you all the best, and if you would subscribe, that would be really cool.